up on this episode of Don't Panic, we've got 2 weeks worth of tech news, including Amazon's convenience stores are busted, FedEx paying you to use Flash. We've also got Android O, red iPhones, and the people have spoken on Monopoly game pieces. Find out who won coming up right now on Don't Panic. This is Don't Panic, episode number 161, recorded March 27th, 2017. Thumbs good, stars bad. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Don't Panic, the technology podcast on gadgets, the internet, and most important of all, you. I am Sean Jennings, joined as always by two gentlemen who you can pay $100 to put Flash in their computer. It's Colby Rabideau and Dan Miller.
You could not pay us $100 to do that, right?
What is your price to enable Flash on in your browser? Would you do it for $5?
No, but I would do it for $100 to be honest.
I think it depends on how long, but yeah, I might do it for $100. I don't have to use it, right?
That's
just have to enable it.
Yeah,
there's a thing you can do, and I don't remember how you do it, but you can install a Chrome extension. I'm sure they have this for other browsers too, where you have Flash installed, but you have to click on the Flash thing to actually run it, which is great for the invisible Flash things that run and try to do shady stuff, because you'll never be able to even see them to turn them on. It's a good middle ground.
Nice.
Well, there you go. Thanks, folks, for joining us. Before we get into some banter here, I want to remind everybody we're live right now on Facebook at facebook.com/don'tpanicshow, as we are every Monday night at roughly 11 Eastern, 10 Central. You can join us there, watch the show, and you can comment on Facebook. We'll read those throughout the show. You can also call into our phone number at 508-644-8324. That's 508-644-8324. Call in throughout the show. Interact with us. The phone number will be on the screen. And by the way, my offer still stands. First person to call in gets a free Don't Panic tote bag. So I know Colby loves his. He uses it all the time. So, you can put things and stuff in it. So
what do you use it for?
I actually haven't ever used it.
Good sales job. Thank you.
I was trying to play along, but
Dan called
my bluff.
I saw it on your camera yesterday, so I know you own it.
It is there. It's like on the chair next to the counter in the kitchen. It's primed for use. It's just
that's prime real estate, really.
Yeah,
that's like the middle of the shelf in the supermarket that is Colby's life.
Right.
That's deep. That's a deep cut right there.
Do you think that the supermarket of my life breaks if there are more than 20 people in it?
Yeah.
I don't know. How many people have we gotten in there for New Year's in the past? Has it ever been more than 20?
I think this year, well, we were supposed to be more than 20. I don't think that many people actually showed up.
All right, so we don't.
We were very close to 20, so it's.
Well, did it feel like it was close to breaking?
It wasn't too bad, but it wasn't as bad as I expected it to be. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
It was pretty packed, though.
I will say 20 people is probably about that ceiling of how many people is it appropriate to have in Colby's apartment.
Absolutely.
You're on the edge.
After that, it becomes inappropriate.
After that, it's a clown car or a phone booth with, how many people can you cram in it. At that point, then I think you could probably get 50 in there if you really wanted to, but it's diminishing returns.
Oh, at least. Do your feet have to be on the ground?
Let's say your feet had to be on. You had to be standing up. Now you can do it you can stand on the couch or on the counter, but you have to be.
Could you stand on someome's shoulders?
No. No. I just want to know how many vertical people you can get one tall in Colby's apartment.
Well, how many square feet does a person take up?
Depends.
That's a good question. I would say, 3? We could say 3?
Yeah.
Three wide, but they're not as deep. People aren't as...
Right.
Some people are, but most people aren't as deep.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like my apartment's like 600 or 700 square feet total. I mean, you'd have to subtract the couch and the counters out of that and stuff.
We don't need a couch at that point, though.
500 conservatively.
This sounds like one of those lame thought questions they ask you in a job interview. Like, how many people could you fit in Colby's apartment? It's not about the right answer. It's about how you figure it out. I thought we did a pretty good job.
We're hired.
Next New Year's, we'll get the real answer. What's going on, guys?
Free drinks at Colby's
Free-
place.
Yeah, I love it. We can advertise it to all of our no fans.
Yeah. To everyone who calls in.
That's right. You get a free. Well, what is it?
Ooh.
Didn't I once offer to give a week away at your dad's beach house? For some reason, no one took us up on that offer. I was shocked. I know. We would have done it. Could have hung out with Scar. It would have been fun. But
Can I take up? Can I take you up on that offer?
I'll say yes, but I doubt I have the authority to. So.
It was for last year, though, wasn't it?
Is he doing it again this year?
I'm not sure yet. Maybe.
The Don't Panic Weekend with Colby's Dad contest giveaway, sponsored by Bud Light Limerita. This is good. This is really good. This sells itself. We're gonna be so rich. Good. What else is going on, guys? Anything of note? There's got to be something exciting going on.
I went to a restaurant. I told Sean about this. I went to a restaurant opening today, a pre-opening, a friends and family only event before the grand opening. And the most interesting thing I learned about restaurants, especially high-end ones, which this one kind of is the week before and the week of opening week, when the New York Times photographers are rolling through and the food critics, they train and hire a different waitstaff than they would normally. And this waitstaff consists entirely of models. So they get these extremely expensive hourly models to be their waitstaff, which, they're perfectly fine waiters and waitresses, but they charge a hefty fee for their time. They use them only for the first week, when the people that they want to impress are there and they're taking pictures, and then they bring on the regular waitstaff. True story.
I believe it.
It shattered my reality when you told me.
Yeah, that's feels like a lie. So all those reviews you read in the paper and stuff
that talk about how good looking the waiters are, you're like, I feel like I should never trust that.
Like, these people just look normal.
Like, the food was okay, but God, the waiters were attractive. Be like, oh, this is why Cosmopolitan shouldn't be reviewing restaurants.
Right, I would be very suspect of a food review that went on and on about the waitstaff.
Well, that's what's amazing to me is you don't, it's like when you learn that in cereal commercials they don't use milk in the bowl, they use glue. It's all those sort of like fake trickery that they don't use cheese and that it's all craft. Like, that's why a Big Mac never looks like it does in the commercial.
It must have been a podcast. I feel like it was a 99% Invisible or something. They had an episode with a person who did that, and they talked about all the crazy stuff they do to like get like, when they have like the Wendy's commercials and the sliced onions are like bouncing so perfectly in slow motion. It's like about all the stuff they do to make that happen. That was a good one. That should be my pick for today.
How do they do it?
They had like built contraptions to do it, so they would actually like slice the onion and it would like fly, and then they have these like super high speed cameras to capture it.
Amazing.
I don't really remember the gist of it. That was a while ago.
But man, I always love going into Dunkin' Donuts, the ones that have the video monitors, and they show like the coffee pouring in super slow motion, and like the hash browns are browning in slow motion. God, it just makes food look so much better. Always,
especially that kind of food.
Well, yeah, that's the food that needs the, that needs
to get
the
spiced up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's exciting. I had no idea. No idea at all. I wish I had a cool tech story from London, but I really...
Oh, that's right.
I really don't. I wasn't really paying attention to any of the technology. I was so busy at work that I didn't really.
That's boring.
I did love my AirPods though, Dan. I was telling you this the other day.
Right.
What a fantastic! I had. I usually fly with a collared shirt, and there's usually a pocket in the front, and I kept these just in the shirt pocket the whole time. And when I was in line, and you could just pop it one in, pop them out, pop them in, pop them out, as you were waiting in customs and in different things. And yeah, it was battery life was great. I was super impressed. So. I was very pleased with my AirPods.
And we invented that on this show. I just want all the listeners to remember.
That's right.
And by we, I mean me. I called it.
Okay, all right.
It's like Apple. No. Do you remember? I went on and on about how Apple should make its own wireless standard that's not shitty like Bluetooth.
I mean, it is Bluetooth, but
it's not shitty like Bluetooth.
Although mine. Have you used yours for calls?
Yes.
Mine is terrible at phone calls.
Terrible at it in what way?
The audio gets all distorted, and it actually will lose connection in the middle of a call, but it's not when playing music or anything else. It's only during phone calls.
Yeah, I noticed that the call quality isn't... I think it degrades both the sound in your ears and the microphone isn't amazing. Mm. But I think you'd have the same problem with any Bluetooth connection. But you're right. I think the next version of the AirPods, I think they should take it a step further.
I'm hoping what you're talking about is that they take the little straight part and they just extend it all the way down and have giant sticks hanging out.
Like mandibles.
You know, like giant chopsticks you shoved in your ears.
Scorpion. Yeah. No. I think... Imagine like the Apple like near field communication standard where it like there's no, it can do your 4K monitor, it can handle that wirelessly, it can, talk to your Apple TV, it can handle your mouse and your keyboard, and however crazy headset, it could do video cameras. I think that's what they should do. And then just abolish wires altogether.
I mean, I think Apple is really good and can create a lot of things I could never imagine. I kind of find it hard to believe that Apple, out of thin air, pun intended, could create a new wireless standard that doesn't piggyback or at least borrow extremely heavily from an existing one. Like, there are only so many frequencies through which data can travel. Like, I'm
not concerned with the realities, Sean.
No.
I'm talking about the future.
They used a specific frequency of Wi-Fi Direct, and totally, yeah, absolutely, and built great software around it. I mean, that's what they did with Bluetooth. So, they didn't invent NFC.
I would accept that.
Dan called one thing, and now it's gone to his head.
He's just so cocky. He's so cocky. He thinks we got Tim Cook over here.
I'm not predicting it. I'm telling them what they should do.
Oh, gotcha. So he's moved on from predicting to running the company.
Right. Exactly.
Makes sense.
Then no one has any right to complain about ports on MacBooks. Like, ugh. And then, I think it would be probably really hard. I don't know how doable it would be.
The good news is, Dan, Apple has a lot of smart people. It's up to you to tell them what to do, and then they go and do it.
Right. Yeah. That's how product development works.
Honestly, I would settle for wireless power. Given the choice, Dan, would you rather have wireless power or your wireless stuff talks to each other concept?
For my computer, I care more about the wireless stuff talking to each other, but for my phone and like the watch and the AirPods, I care more about wireless power.
Sure.
And frankly, for everything behind my TV too.
I think it would depend. For me, it would depend on what form the wireless power took. Like, if it's the wireless power we have now, where you have to like put it on a mat, like. That's not that. I mean, that's probably fine for a phone. It's not great for a computer.
Could you imagine your watch? You have to just like rest your wrist on the.
Well, no. I think that the mat thing is pretty plausible. Imagine you just get like this big old honking mouse pad, basically, that you plop down on a desk, and you can get different sizes or maybe multiple different ones. And everything on the desk receives power. Your monitor's base connects to it. Your laptop space connects to it, your mouse and your keyboard, your phone, your headphones, external hard drives, whatever. They can all just feed off of this like mat.
So, if I'm understanding correctly, Dan, you want to invent a super duper mouse pad.
Yes, that powers the things that are on it.
The Dan Miller super duper mouse pad. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
All right. No, hey, look,
Listen.
you're innovating. Who am I to stop? There are no bad ideas in brainstorming.
I'm innoventing.
You're winnovating.
Innovating?
Yes, exactly. Yep. All we do is win.
Yep.
That's exactly true. All right. Well, gentlemen, I think it's about that time. Enough of us wasting everyone else's time. Why don't we move into the news? We've got a whole bunch of stories, 2 weeks worth here. Although, actually, most are from the last week, but that's okay. Apparently nothing interesting happened in the week we were gone. So we've got all kinds of stuff. I teased a bunch in the lead off of the show, including all of those. Yeah, you have
let's
a
not,
pick?
Yeah, let's not do one of those. I'm curious what everyone thinks now about the Nintendo Switch, now that it's been out and there have been reviews and people are talking about it. And in relation to that, this story.
Great question, Dan. Apparently, Wall Street Journal is reporting that Nintendo plans to double the number of Switch units that they planned on manufacturing originally. At least 16 million in the financial year starting this April, which means the upcoming year, which is a doubling of the initial plans due to strong demand. Nintendo, the only official indication of Switch sales to date is that Nintendo planned to ship 2 million units this month following its launch, although a source claims the number may be 2.5 million or more, so they not only met their goal, they exceeded it. So extremely popular so far. If that 16 million figure, as reported, is true, that would mean it would outsell its predecessor, the Wii U, by a few million units.
In what, 2-3 months as compared to 4 years?
Yes.
Yeah.
But you also have to remember over that same period of time, the original Wii sold 101 million. Oh, no. Oh, I'm sorry. Sold 20 million in that first year. Sorry. My mistake. So, right in between the two. But I don't think, you try selling anything as much as they sold the Wii. That's insane. So we'll get better numbers on April 27th, which is when Nintendo reports earnings. But, gentlemen, we'll go with Dan's question here. I don't know if either of you played the Switch. That's really the million-dollar question. No. Okay.
I haven't, actually.
So let's talk about how great it is, or how bad it is, now that we know we've never played it.
Well, I know some people who've used them, and all the reviews seem pretty positive. It manages to avoid most of the typical Nintendo pitfalls, except maybe, I haven't heard updates about this, the online gaming story. But everything that they marketed it for, it seems to do. You can dock it and take it out, and it seamlessly transfers the gameplay. Games work just as well on the gamepad as they do on the screen. You can take the two sides of the controller out and use them independently or together. I've seen a bunch of pictures of my friends taking them on planes, and they're blown away that for the first time in their lives, the best gaming experience they can get at home, they can bring on the plane with them. It's pretty cool. And you can set the Switch on the tray table and then take the controllers off and use them like an actual controller instead of having to hold it like a giant iPad, basically. So I don't know. I think we were rightfully skeptical. It seemed a little too good to be true, but it seems like they've delivered on what they said they were going to do.
I don't know. I like the idea of using the two little things disconnected from anything, just like to play a game regularly, but not stuck together in front of me. I feel like it would be super it opens up so many more options for reclining as
And let me tell you, Colby loves to recline like that.
Yeah, and it's tough when you got the controller because you're trying to lie down, but you can't you gotta have your hands together somewhere, and you end up putting pressure on your arm in a weird way, or like
I don't know how you
so
deal with
you
it,
can't-
frankly.
Yeah, right. I don't know why all controllers aren't 2 pieces, frankly. Madness.
Yeah, and I'm excited for Mario Kart. I would buy one if it was possible to get one for less than $500.
Well,
But I'm not in that big of a hurry, so I'll just wait
there
till
was
they come back in stock.
there was another story which did not make it into the rundown. I have to see if I can track it down while I'm describing it. But Amazon was actually offering a special promotion where you could Prime subscribers could get special access to purchase Nintendo Switches at regular value. Let's see here.
Interesting.
Amazon had the console back in stock, but only let Prime members add it to their cart. I don't know if this is still the case.
I doubt it.
But yeah, this story was from the 24th, so 3 days ago, Friday.
Yeah.
But interesting. I get more money out of your Prime subscription there. Yeah, I am. Honestly, what I've heard of this, I have not used it. But what I've heard is that this is absolutely the best device you can use to play Zelda. And that's basically it. I mean, I've not heard.
And that's like a 99 out of 100 on Metacritic right now. That game.
People love the Zelda
pretty
game.
good game.
People love this. If you're willing to pay $300 plus what's the cost of the game? $60. So $360 to play Zelda. I think it's great. More power to you. I think the hardware looks cool. I've seen questions of whether it's underpowered or overpowered, and it seems to handle Zelda okay. We haven't seen it do games you can compare to a console because you can't play Zelda on an Xbox. So I'm curious how when you get an Xbox game on there, how they'll stack up. If you're into that kind of performance graphics, if that's your thing.
That's never why you get a Nintendo system, though.
No, I think that's okay. But I'm curious. We just don't know. People have estimated how powerful they think the graphics is, but there's not enough kind of range to be able to test it. So I'm curious. I'd have to be. If this thing had more games, I would seriously look into it. I really like the form factor, like you were talking, Dan. Traveling and on planes, and you can take it with you and play it around the house or pop it in the console, the dock.
You can lounge with it.
I'm not paying $360 to play Zelda on this thing. So
yeah, that's fair.
That's a little crazy to me.
An expensive game, I guess.
Yes, exactly.
I think it'd be really cool, and there's nothing that prevents them from doing this, I don't think, if they opened up the Wii U backlog on the online store.
Yeah, I thought they were working on that. I don't remember.
Maybe they are, because then that becomes a lot more attractive, because I'm sure those games will not be $60, and there were at least half a dozen good games on the Wii U that no one ever played. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyways, I'm happy that it seems good.
I put it this way: it does not surprise me that they are selling a lot of them. That does not surprise me in the least. Will it continue in the long run? The real question is, I want to see how holiday season next year is. That will tell me it will have already been out by about 9 months at that time. They will have time to have developed games for it, so all the games should have come out at that point. If we come out of Christmas saying this thing beat projections, then I'll call it a success. If we come out of Christmas and they say it undersold, then I'm going to say these early numbers didn't mean much.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I think all the people buying it now are the people who already own an Xbox and a PlayStation, or people who've bought everything Nintendo's ever made. I think your average person is not going out and buying this today simply because of the time of year, the availability issues, the kind of, you got to be a Zelda fan to, or a specific fan of the games available. So Christmas, I think, is going to be the make or break. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll check back then. We'll tell you all about it. But until then, yes.
Looks like we have some follow-up on our Monopoly discussion that took place across the Coffee and Beer Network.
That it did. Dan Miller, the people have spoken. Democracy works, or does it? Let's find out. We talked previously on the show about Monopoly holding a public vote to both retire 3 pieces of their classic tokens, as they call them, set, and replace them with 3 new ones. You had 56 to choose from, and we walked here on the show through a number of them, good, bad, indifferent. Guys, would you like to know the results?
I'm dying to know.
I know. With a bated breath, I'm happy to tell you that the American people have outright rejected boot, thimble, and wheelbarrow.
No, not thimble.
Boot
I
was
was
lame.
like-
Boot was lame.
I always like the wheelbarrow.
Wheelbarrow was cool. I will not miss boot, and I agree with Dan. Thimble was pretty awesome too.
Yeah, it had a nice texture to it.
You could put it on your finger.
Ooh, good point. You could put it on your finger.
Yeah, try pushing something around in that wheelbarrow. It's not going to work. Try wearing a shoe. You can't do that.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But maybe you'll change your mind when I tell you what's replacing those 3. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Joining the Scotty Dog Battleship Race Car Top Hat and Cat are, drumroll please, Tyrannosaurus Rex, a penguin, and a rubber ducky. 3 birds.
I
I'm sensing a theme.
like the rubber ducky.
Yeah, I think the rubber ducky is a good one. I kind of like the T-Rex, though it is like weirdly detailed for a Monopoly piece. I'm not. I don't care about the penguin. Seems over the top. See, I would gladly take the wheelbarrow or the thimble instead of the penguin.
Ooh, that's harsh. I like the penguin. I don't like the T-Rex. I agree. It's too detailed, and it's very. I don't quite understand how it fits with the other. With the other pieces.
And 4 million people voted in over 100 countries.
Wow.
How, by the way, how is this ever tech news? I love this story, but I forgot.
Damn, if it
How did
happens
it
on the
make it in
internet,
here
it's
twice?
tech news. That's it.
I guess. Okay.
This is
It's called
hard-hitting
free,
stuff.
We're giving free PR to the Hasbro people. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. What a brilliant PR move. Whew.
It's going viral, Dan, as they say in the marketing biz.
Yeah.
I'm waiting. There will come a day where some manager will come to me in my business and ask me how we make engineered thermoplastics go viral. That is the day I will quit. That is my limit.
Here's what I would do. Do you have the ability to make things out of plastic?
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah. So you would have some sort of contest where people would pitch you, and other people would vote on things that you would make out of plastic and send to the person who pitched it.
Sure. That's an awesome.
It'd be like the Idea Storm thing on Dell. There'd just be this giant people upvoting things. Only the top 5 are going to get made.
Dan,
Anything you want.
Thank you for doing my job. No, we actually have gone viral before. We did the 3D printed car, which was pretty cool. And I just got the American Chemistry Council just did a thing where they took plastics, because they represent the plastics industry, a lobbying group, and they made a bunch of, this was like the most obvious attempt at going viral ever. They made a bunch of like braces for handicapped dogs and did it on Facebook Live. And I'm like, okay, that's a little cheesy, even for my taste. Like, even I have limits for how desperate you are for attention. But it's working for Hasbro, so good for them.
Isn't there like a? I feel like when people or companies like try to go viral, there's like, I don't know, like just in saying that it is itself a contradiction. Like, can you really go viral if it's on purpose? Like, I feel like going viral is like sort of like a whimsical accident. Like, things, the things that are most viral were never intended to be that way. I just think that's
it defeats the purpose. It really does. That's like if I tried to murder you, but as I went to push you down the stairs, you tripped and fell and broke your neck. Did I really murder you? No, I didn't.
Wait, are we playing D&D again?
No, thank God we are not. A game where you guys have yet to die despite my best efforts.
But that does not speak well for the other people who have
a lot
tragically lost their lives.
I was looking at my list of generic names to pull out when needed, and of the 3 male names we've used, you've killed 2 of them. The only one you didn't kill was Sheriff Rufus T. Bickfer. So he's next.
You haven't killed Carol yet, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. No, so I guess it is 2 of 4. I forgot about Carol. I just assumed you'd kill him. My rule is, why would you let them live, and if there's not a reason, you're going to kill them?
I was listening to episode 5 today, and Matt is a pretty dark character.
He is sick.
Yeah,
he's twisted. He just.
I'm like, I don't know. Is he in character, or is like, should we be concerned? Yeah,
I don't know.
Unclear.
I don't know. It's very disturbing. Anyway, so there you go. Look forward to that. One last fun fact, by the way. Of the 8 Monopoly tokens, now 5 of them are animals. Interesting. But the people have spoken. We will respect their administration until 4 years from now when they run for re-election. Guys, we've got a lot more news in here. We've got red iPhones, Android O, Amazon's convenience stores, Netflix changing ratings. Anything getting you excited?
I feel like Netflix is crazy. That's been the same for ages. Maybe it's not crazy, but
once again, the people have spoken, as they say. Netflix will soon be changing its rating system, switching from the traditional 5-star rating to a thumbs up, thumbs down system. The change will happen in April and will roll out globally. Last year, they began looking into it, where they actually beta tested the thumbs with a certain percentage of users. They did some A/B testing. They discovered that over 200% more ratings were logged when using thumbs versus stars, probably because it's a little simpler. It says here that there's a quote here from, I got to get his name, Todd Yellen, Netflix Vice President of Product, who says, quote, "What's more powerful, you telling me you would give 5 stars to a documentary about unrest in the Ukraine, that you'd give 3 stars to the latest Adam Sandler movie, or that you'd watch the Adam Sandler movie 10 times more frequently? What you do versus what you say you like are different things." In addition to the ratings change, Netflix will also start percent matching, which means it will use algorithms to show a percentage below a title based on how likely it is you'll like it. Very personalized. They'll say there's an 80% chance, Colby, you'll like movie X. So there you go. That'll be rolling out, as I mentioned, in April. Do you guys rate a lot of stuff on Netflix? I never rate anything on Netflix.
I don't know. I've rated some things. Like, sometimes I'll finish a TV show and a movie, and I'll be like, damn, 5 stars. But I only ever rate things 5 stars because I am morally opposed to ever rating anything 1 star. And unless I feel strongly about it, I won't remember to rate it. So I only do 5 stars.
Now, Dan, why are you morally opposed to scoring things 1 star? I want to get inside the philosophy of Dan Miller here.
Because who cares, right? Especially with Netflix, I don't get it. With Amazon, like, okay, you ordered something, maybe it was really terrible, maybe it didn't come as advertised, then yeah, give it 1 star. On Netflix, let's say you go to watch a TV show, you watch the first episode, it's 20 minutes long, and you're like, this sucks. Then I'm not going to input any more effort into cataloging how much it sucks for me. I'm just going to go to the next thing.
Yeah, but I mean, don't you care about me as a fellow Netflix user? Don't you want me to know that you didn't like it?
No, I don't give a shit about, like, no one else needs to, like, maybe someone else will like it. And not only that, but just because a bunch of people rated something 1 star doesn't necessarily mean that I won't like it. No. Right? You can also end up on these, like, bandwagon lists where everyone's like, I don't know, hates on a movie for some dumb reason, so it gets a bunch of 1 stars. You see this on Netflix sometimes.
I've noticed that on Netflix when, like, some like things first come out and they'll have like 1 star, and then 2 or 3 weeks later they'll have like 4 or 5.
Yeah, but can't the same thing happen with 5-star recommendations too? People get on the bandwagon.
Here's a great example. I was just today, my friend watched Legion, the first episode, which I picked last week, 2 weeks ago. And so I was looking at it on Hulu again. The first episode of Legion has 2.5 stars on Hulu. Like, what monkeys are rating this thing, right? Like, it's people with an axe to grind. Like, this was dumb, I didn't understand. 1 star. Yeah, so if I really like something, I'll give it 5 stars, just to indicate that I like it. So for me, the thumbs up, thumbs down is much better.
And so are you going to thumbs down things now?
Yeah, because now it feels more like an indication of my preferences and less a value judgment on the thing itself.
Beautiful.
So that's why I've always liked Foursquare more than Yelp. It's like not about like number. Well, I mean, they do have like a number score, but it's not like a direct reflection of. I mean, it's not like an average star rating or anything like that. More abstract.
Very good. Well, hopefully, I know I struggle to, although I don't know why, but I struggle to find things to watch on Netflix. I really shouldn't, because I can like name 5 things right now I want to watch on Netflix, and I haven't. So maybe it's all in my head. But I'm more curious about this algorithmically percent matching, because to me that's spooky. It's one thing to say we think you'll like this, and another to say we think you'll 64% like this. I'm curious how well that'll work.
I mean, that's what they're doing behind the scenes.
Right.
Okay.
Weird to see the number. Because I don't want to admit how much they know about me. And now they're really...
As a person who lives in this world, I think in those terms anyway, so... Now I know exactly what their algorithm's doing, and I can debug it. Have you ever end up in those situations where you've caused someone's... machine learning big data algorithm to learn something incorrectly about you, and you're like, how do I convince this stupid thing that I don't actually like? Why?
Amazon all the time.
Oh my god! And I bought clothes from this like independent clothing website, and every website I go to, I get an ad to buy clothes from them. It's like, I just went to your website, looked at everything. You only have like 25 products. I looked at all of them, and I bought the ones I wanted. I'm not going back. If you sent me an email like, hey, we posted some new stuff, I would take a look. But I'm never going to click on these ads.
Right. Like, I don't understand. Amazon does the same thing. Like, you buy, like, a pair of scissors, and then for a week, all you see are, like, scissors in your recommended. Like, I just bought... You literally know. You know I just received the scissors. Like, maybe it's, like, in case the scissors weren't satisfactory, and they're expecting me to return them.
Maybe you just really love... You collect scissors. You just really love them.
Yeah. I don't know.
And for a while, I thought maybe Amazon is just really bad at this. But it must work. It must work. But who's clicking on these things? And I'd be curious what people order on Amazon. What is like the distribution of categories of stuff that people buy on Amazon? Is it still mostly books? I'm guessing not. Clothes? Is it like household supplies? Is it electronics? It'd be interesting to know, because maybe for some things, right? Like, if you bought a video game, you might be interested in more video games. Okay, that makes sense. If you bought clothes, you might be interested in other kinds of clothes. Sure. If you bought laundry detergent, I don't care about any other kinds of laundry detergent. I don't care about scissors. If I just bought a desktop computer, which I still haven't done, but
so if you just
I guarantee you, if I did, they would show me desktop computers. Like, who buys multiple desktop computers like week after week? No one. At least not most people. Maybe some like bulk, like wholesale person or someone who works for a company and they buy computers all the time for new employees, but
But I feel like those people aren't shopping on Amazon for stuff, right?
Who knows?
Or I don't know.
Yeah. All right, that's my rant about. I feel like I've ranted for a long time. Someone pull me out.
No. All right, we'll pull you out, Dan. We've got time for, I think, one more story before we get to picks. What's it gonna be, gentlemen? What's it gonna be? Can't. Gotta pick something. We got news aplenty.
All right, we gotta talk about red iPhones.
Red iPhones are here out of nowhere. You know, we talk about the hype around Apple events all the time, but there really is nothing quite like the random Apple news dump. And we had one of those this week. Outside of the red iPhone, there were a couple things. They upped the size of storage on the iPhone SE. They tweaked the iPad lineup a little bit, where they shuffled out the sort of mid-range iPad and actually lowered the cost and reduced some of the components to create a cheaper version. But the big highlight, red iPhone. Get excited. The red aluminum finish on the back of the iPhone 7 is now available. It's launching a partnership with the Red AIDS fundraising campaign that Apple has been familiar with for quite a long time. The red is available for the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus, available now. You can go buy it in 128 and 256 gigabyte models at your local Apple store and participating retailers. Now, I know that, gentlemen, there was a lot of controversy swirling on the web about the fact that they went with a white front to the phone instead of a black front.
Yeah, that's
any opinions on that?
no, not really.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Plenty of people buy the white iPhones, right? We don't know how many, but plenty of people.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think white on red is a cool look. I think it's more distinctive than black on red.
I used to have a white iPhone.
That's right.
I liked it. It was fine.
I think they should give the option.
That would be cool.
I don't really hate it
That
one
would be
way or the other.
super.
Like, given the choice between white
Here's
and black,
what
then
I
I'd
do
black,
think-
but I like the white.
Here's what I do think would have been 100% better is whatever. What did they call the thing? The glossy.
Oh, jet black.
Yeah, that kind of finish on the red would have looked amazing. It would look so
It would
cool.
look like a
I was a
candy
bit
apple.
bummed out at the brushed aluminum red. I feel like a solid bright red, jet red. I don't know what you'd call it. Fireball red. And red AF would have
Wow.
looked really nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I agree with you. You have to remember the only colors you can get the iPhone in are black, gray, rose gold. A couple different versions of black, a couple different versions of gray, but they really don't have bold colors. And I actually think the red looks, I don't know, I'm on the fence if I'd actually buy it, but I think the red does look really sharp. I agree with you, Dan. I think a red option in the glossy finish would be interesting, but even in the aluminum, I think it looks pretty
Oh yeah,
slick.
it looks good.
So a nice change.
Do you think? I was gonna say, do you two think that we'll see more different colors or red MacBooks, or do you think this is just
a red MacBook? That'd be cool.
That would be cool. I would be all about a red MacBook.
I would get that. No, I wouldn't. That'd be super.
But you'd look at it and admire it.
Yeah, I'd think about it.
You wouldn't own it.
I'd go. It'd be like a TV show where I like go off and like imagine future.
Could you imagine how much better Colby's life would be if he had a red MacBook? All we can do now is imagine what amazing things could happen. No, I don't think they're going to do other colors. I think the only reason they did this is because of the product red thing, and they've done it for a while. And I think, frankly, it wouldn't surprise me if they didn't do it with the iPhone 8, and it's just a temporary thing because they didn't do it with the 6 or the 6S. So why they decided to do it, I don't know. But I would be The only thing I would wonder would be, since they went ahead and built all the factories to be able to spray color on these things, if when the 7 eventually becomes the cheaper model, so when the 8 comes out, or the 7S or the 9, whatever, if once it becomes the cheap model, like they've done with the SE and the 4S before it, what was the plastic back one called? It wasn't before the SE.
C.
The C, yes, thank you. They do the bright colors in those, so maybe when it becomes the cheaper model, I would just be surprised if it's the flagship if they do it in blues and yellows and sort of brighter colors. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Interesting.
I love the idea of brighter colors on all the things. And
Yeah.
I think it's like a design cycle, like fanny packs and bell bottoms.
Right. Yeah, I mean, when iPods were a thing, those had bright colors.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you a question. If Apple offered you a service where you buy the space gray, we'll say aluminum iPhone, and for $50 they take your phone and they send it off to a factory somewhere, and they can spray it in one of 9 colors, and then they send it back to you, and then at any point, a week later, a month later, give them another $50, they'll spray it a different color. Would you be interested?
I would only ever do that one time. The fact that you could send it back would be useless to me. I would never send it back.
What if it was free included with Apple Care?
Still would never do it.
Okay. All right.
Because I wouldn't have a phone.
Well, but that's what bothers me about doing phones in bright colors is you're stuck with that color. Like that's why I like cases.
Fine.
You can put any case you want on it.
Oh, but the cases all look so much worse than
No, they do. But that's why I'm
Apple
saying
phones
if
themselves.
Apple offered the option to, or you know what, do it right in the Apple Store. Put a little robot in the corner, and you stick a phone in it, and it's just one of those robot arms with the the spray, and it just sprays the phone.
I mean, first of all, it's not going to work because how many times can you do this before your phone just is caked with all this spray paint, right?
And Apple won't stand for an extra couple millimeters of thickness of paint, so
Right. No, so it would have to be like a full case switch thing.
fair.
But even still, even if it was, I would not do it.
No.
I think, yeah, no.
But okay. So say you couldn't do that. You said you were interested. You wanted more colors. What color would you like, Dan?
I like the red. I think green can be exciting too. I really like the sort of baby blue iPhone 5C that I see some people have.
Sure.
That's a nice color. Yeah. I'm a simple person when it comes to colors.
I like the navy blue that they do a lot of their cases in. That darker blue. That's a really nice color.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I feel like a dark brown could be kind of cool.
Like a leather kind of
Earth
color.
tones. I guess that's yeah. I'm just you got me thinking about the case colors that I
Yeah.
like.
Well, they're good colors. I mean, they picked them for a reason. So I agree. Yeah, nice brown would be. Yeah, you could do a lot. Well, this is exactly why. What was it when Moto first did the? Was it the Moto X? What was the one where you could pick every different color of every button and the case and?
It was the Moto X,
where you could build it custom. That's kind of what we're talking
I
about.
did that.
That's right. I forgot you did. That was a cool phone. Didn't last. Came back to iPhone.
No, it was garbage.
Okay.
It wasn't garbage. It worked
Don't
fine.
kick Motorola when they're down. It's not a very nice thing. All right, well, gentlemen, we're out of time for news, so we're gonna move on to picks. And boy, have we got a great list this evening, and we're gonna do it in alphabetical order. Mr. Colby, what do you got for us?
I just have that I found the link to that episode of 99% Invisible we were talking about it's called Flying Food. But it's about how they make those crazy slow-mo food commercials. It was a good one. Also, 99% Invisible is a pretty good podcast if you haven't listened to that. So that's my pick.
That's fantastic. I'm gonna go listen to that. Hopefully.
maybe.
Every time you guys pick a podcast on the show, and I always say, "Oh, I'm going to go listen to that," and I never do.
99% Invisible is also a pretty short one.
Okay.
It's like 20-minute episodes and 20 to 30-minute episodes, and not the hour or more long, frankly. Sort of epics.
I don't know why anybody would do an hour-long podcast. That's why would anyone listen to that? A whole hour of just people talking about nothing?
I think
It's a bad plan.
Yeah. I was thinking about like Dubai Friday, where like routinely 120 minutes, it seems like.
Or longer.
Yeah.
When we were talking about, I forget what we were talking about, but I was remembering the story from Dubai Friday where the people on the cruise ship were complaining that they were too wide for their showers. I don't know if you listened to that episode. How many people could fit in your apartment? That's what we were talking. Too wide for their little showers.
At some point, we do need to ask our fans, do you think this show should be an hour? If you think it's too long, let us know. Don'tPanicShow@gmail.com or tweet us at Don'tPanicShow. We'll take your feedback.
You can call
We've never asked. Or call and let us know.
You
Think of
get
that tote bag.
If you've managed to listen to the whole hour and have gotten to the end here, we appreciate it. You can call in and get a tote bag. We're like the shitty version of PBS. We can't even give away our tote bags. All right, Dan, what do you got an electronic video game for us here?
I do. A couple weeks ago, I picked up this game after I was at a friend's house and I saw them playing it. It's called Horizon Zero Dawn. It's a useless title because it doesn't tell you anything about what the game is about, and it has an unnecessary subtitle because there's no other Horizon game. But it's really cool. So, Colby, I think you're going to really like this game, and here's how I'm going to pitch it to you.
That's good, because before the show, when I saw you picked it, I immediately queued it up in my PlayStation downloads. I've been downloading this whole time, so I'm gonna go play it after.
Okay, good. So here's why I think you're gonna like it. Imagine Far Cry 4, one of your favorite games, I know, but instead of like terrorists and dictators that you're like driving around roaming around this huge open world, taking care of business with those people. Instead of that, you're riding around crazy mechanical horses in this bizarre post-apocalyptic environment. Instead of killing terrorists, you're taking down these massive, huge machines by shooting the right kinds of arrows at exactly the right spot and hiding in the bushes and jumping around. And it looks beautiful. So it's an open world game. It's really unlike a lot of other open world games. It at least in setting. So it's a lot of fun to look around. The characters are pretty interesting. The story is pretty good, really good for an open world game. And I've had a lot of fun with it. So check out Horizon Zero Dawn.
Colby already did.
Yep.
It is a PlayStation 4 exclusive right now. 4.8 out of 5 stars on Amazon. You can pick it up for your PlayStation now.
How many thumbs ups though?
How many? Sorry, no. There's a 100% chance Dan likes it, so we know the algorithm is working. Very cool. My pick's a quick one, and it is in honor of what we have coming up this weekend. It's boxofficemojo.com. And the way I sort of describe it is if IMDb is your ultimate source for movie metadata, the actors and directors and all that, Box Office Mojo is the theater's version of that. If what you're really interested in is movies, box office, production budgets, number of screens it's released on, it's all about the metrics of movies and all the different... really the money they've made. They do a good job. They compare like movies, so I'm going to put up here on the screen for the folks at home. Beauty and the Beast versus Jungle Book versus Alice in Wonderland, obviously comparable films. And you can see how they've grossed in different, situations and their average, Beauty and the Beast made an average of $41,000 per screen. It's in 4,210 theaters. It's been released for 10 days. Worldwide, it's grossed $693 million. It is the 5th highest grossing fantasy live action movie of all time. You know, I'm kind of a nerd for all these stats, and it's interesting to read through, and they do a very good job on this site. And it is the official site that we use to gather all the data for our movie league we do at upfordebate.tv/movies. We're just wrapping up the Winter League, and this coming weekend, we're holding the draft for the 2017 Summer Movie League that you're not going to want to miss. So the pick is boxofficemojo.com, but also keep an eye out upfordebate.tv/movies, because coming up, we'll have the Summer League beginning. And guys, I'm going to do a little tease here for the folks at home. We're going to be doing a special Summer Movie League kickoff giveaway. Would you like to hear more?
Yeah.
Because I really need to get rid of these damn tote bags. We're going to do a contest. Don't try and enter yet because I haven't opened it. So if you're listening to this, it may not be ready. Go to upfordebate.tv to learn more. But we're going to ask people to pick what they think will be the highest grossing movie of the summer. They don't even have to draft. Just pick one movie and say, I think this will be the highest grossing movie of the summer. Everyone who picks the right one will be entered into the drawing. A winner is not only going to get an Up for Debate tote bag and a bunch of stickers I have left over, they're going to get a $20 Amazon gift card included as our gift to the fans. All they have to do is enter to win. It's that easy. You can get full details at upfordebate.tv/movies. In April. We'll say April 3rd it should be up. So don't look any earlier than that. So I don't know when you're listening to this. But April 3rd it'll be there. But you can go and subscribe at upfordebate.tv. Get the draft episode when it comes out, and I'll give you more details then. I'm not trying to make this complicated. It just is complicated. Does that sound fair?
Fair enough.
We're excited for the... Are you guys as excited as I am? I'm excited.
I'm excited to not come in last place.
Dan's looking for redemption. He's not screwing around.
Yeah. No.
And, by the way, you're definitely going to want to tune into the draft episode at minimum, because in the first 10 minutes, we're going to have the first ever Movie League trophy ceremony.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, wow is right. So you're going to want to tune into that. Subscribe it up for debate.tv.
Yeah, I have a question, Sean. Do I get the Dark Tower at a discount? Do I get a bonus towards it because I had it before?
We talked about this. Dan, that's a good question. It is one of the last... I think it's the second to last movie we're drafting, so let's see how much money you have left when it comes around. And maybe if the auctioneer is feeling generous, he might give you a discount. We'll see.
Okay.
No promises. Not going to make any commitment. But you don't own it anymore.
Nope.
You lost your right. But hey, you got to get out. Well, that's one of the highest grossing movies of the year. So,
yep.
You know.
I got the first week of it or whatever.
Yeah, you got 137 million out of it. So not too shabby. All right, guys, that's it. We're done for this evening. Sadly, if you can believe it, the good news is we will be back next Monday, as we do every Monday, at 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 Central at facebook.com/don'tpanicshow. You can watch the stream there, comment as well. And if you can't join us live, that's okay, because you can always get every episode, past, present, future, audio, video, and the picks on our website, don'tpanic.io. It's really great. These guys built it, and it still works, so we're happy about that. Also there, all the links where you can subscribe. Of course, you can get us on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play Music, most major podcasting apps. The video is on YouTube at youtube.com/don'tpanicshow. And, of course, you can follow us at Don't Panic Show on Twitter. And I mentioned the Facebook link and the phone number, which is 508-644-8324. All those. Leave a voicemail. We might play it next week. If you want to get a hold of us, believe me, we make it easy. I don't want to hear any excuses. Nobody say, I tried to get a hold of you and I couldn't. That's bullshit. You can. So please do so and check that out. Gentlemen, we are done for this evening. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. On behalf of Colby and Dan, this is Sean, thanking you for joining us and hoping we'll see you next time for even more awesome tech news and fun discussion here on Don't Panic.